The best way to get better at programming is to practice. And in this example, we're going to create a template for a class. Now, we've looked at templates and functions before. In this case, we're going to do it for a class. That way, the class can store different types of information. As always, this file is available to download in the description below, and you can follow along. I'll give you just a couple of seconds to download it, then we'll get started. All right, so let's get started. I'm going to create a class, and this is to store a data type called a stack. Now, we don't have to know too much about stacks. That's something you would get in like a data structures class. But the basics of a stack is that it's a last in, first out type of data structure. So in Visual Studio, I'm going to come over here, say add, choose a class. My class name is going to be stack, and you'll see it's going to create those files for me. And this is what it looks like so far. Now, just like before, we need to specify that it's a template. So I need to go up above my class definition, say template, give it the type name, and once again, we're going to use T. I'm first going to define my private data type. So I'm going to say private colon, and in my case, I'm just going to create an array of data types based upon T. So I'm going to specify T elements, and I'm going to specify int size. Then I'm going to specify my public. This is going to be things like my constructor, a constructor in case I get passed in an element. I'm also going to need a method to add elements to my stack. This is called a push. So I'm going to say void push, and then I'm going to take one of my templated elements. To remove elements, it's going to be pop. So I'm going to say T, this is my data type. I'm going to return pop, and then I'm also going to have things like T peak, and I'm going to specify int get size. And this is all within my stack.h. If I want to go and create my methods, just like I did for my functions, I have to come in here and specify template, type name T, and then I'm going to say stack. But because I have a template, I need to specify that, hey, I'm of stack type T, colon, stack. And there's my default constructor. Now, I would have to then go in and do things with this. What would I do? Well, that depends upon how you create a stack. That's really not in this example. I'm going to have to do this for any of my different types of methods. So I'm going to specify template, type name T, and if I want to go and create, for example, my push, I'm going to say void stack, letting it know that I'm going to use a template T. Once again, it's part of that object in class definition. Stack push T, and then I can specify item. I could call it elements. I could call it whatever I wanted to. Okay, so this lets me know that, hey, I'm going to add an item type T to the stack that's of type T. And I'm just giving that little angle bracket T so I know, hey, I'm of this type. This just makes it a lot easier. I would do this for every one of my methods, pop, peak, etc. that is necessary for me to do it for. Now, some things like, for example, my get size, I'm returning an integer, I'm not taking values in, but I'm still of that stack type T. So it's very important that I get all that information correct so I can create my different types of values. Now, some things like stacks and queues, those might come in certain libraries, but it's always helpful to know how to create them because maybe you have to create something that isn't already there. And this is a great example of that. Hopefully you found this example enjoyable and helpful. If you did, please go ahead and give this video a like. Look at other videos in this series on how to get better at programming with C and C++.